What's up, guys? This your girl Queen G. Welcome to another show. Oh my God, I haven't been before you guys probably in a little bit, and I just been so busy planning the huge book signing out in Las Vegas and my time in Los Angeles. Real quick heads up, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you guys, everyone who came out from near and far to celebrate that big moment with me out in Las Vegas, the launch of the books. Oh my God, it was so great. People even bought my magazines. I bought my magazines as, you know what I'm saying, displays of just showing them to people, and people even bought those. I was like, oh my God, I didn't expect those to get sold. But I'm grateful. Like, you guys are so supportive and so amazing. You even bought our sunshade. So that was cool too. I just wanted to also just let you guys know that Queen G Live Experience and what we'll be doing next year is something huge. We'll be opening it up and doing something huge next year. We're having a big, huge event, a media launch next year, and doing a big, huge conference. So I'm going to start working on that. And I know that it's going to be a lot of work, but I think that it's time. I think it's the season for us to do something like that, because I don't think I've ever seen it done like this in this magnitude. And I definitely want to have it in the city of Las Vegas. And so y'all get ready for that. We're going to start working on that. And I look forward to that. So anyway, I got a very, 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 very special guest for you. He is huge in the DJ world. He's a DJ, radio personality DJ. Also, he's a sports agent. He works in film as well. He's a producer. He wears a lot of hats. Today in particular, also, we're going to be talking about his health, his recent health crisis. He had a stroke recently, and I want to talk to him about his recovery and things that took place, and, you know, advice that he has for us so that we won't possibly, you know, go into that mode. You know, that the pandemic just happened. A lot of people were stressed out, and it's just a lot going on right now. So I'm going to get him on the show. His name is DJ Saun Fisher. Let's get him to the show. Hold on one second, y'all. Welcome to the Queen G Live Experience. How are you?
I am doing good. It's a humbling experience to be here with you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. Let's start with this. First, I want to thank Brandy of Big Red Entertainment for introducing us. I want to put that out there and give her a shout out. I appreciate this introduction because, you know, without introductions,
Exactly.
It's like, how do you link with people if you don't connect somehow? And I'm grateful for that, and for her putting us together in this capacity. So DJ Saun, for those that don't know, I want to know where it all started for you. Where did your career begin, and how did it start, and what made you want to get into this field of expertise?
Man, it started back in the 70s. My uncle was the first first African American DJ at a white broadcasting in Maryland. And that was back when it was turntables, records, 45s, and albums. And he used to take me to the radio station with him. And I used to load the turntables for him so he could play the music. And then that's how I had the passion for music. And then I actually started DJing. We had a middle school dance back in 1980, 83, 84, somewhere. We didn't have a DJ, so I told the teacher to get 2 record players, and I put them side by side, and that's how I started DJing. I was like, wow, I like this. So I stayed with it. and I've been
So
doing
at
it.
the middle school dance is where the physical DJing began for you, like the physical on
Right,
hand. And it
right.
was because you were thrown out there. There was no one else.
No one else. I said, well, I can do it, because I spent so much time with my uncle, and I knew, music. And, that was back when SOS Band was banging, and rap just started coming to town. Run DMC and all them groups and Sugar Hill Gang and stuff like that. So I did a good job. So then I started doing all the dances. Then, yeah,
So it took off from there.
took off from.
And so did they start calling you a lot for parties? Because when you're good, word of mouth, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, gets out there, and it's kind of like you get invited because it's word of mouth. And
Yeah.
back then it was more word of mouth than social media. We didn't have this like how we do now. You know what I'm saying?
I did. I was too young at that time to get into the clubs, but we snuck in the clubs, and then I watched like Force One, uh, West Side Crash Crew, Grandmaster Funk, and all those guys do their things. And I said, I want to get me some real turntables. So when I got 16, went and bought my stuff, and then I started staying in the bedroom and doing my thing, and then
Right.
practicing every day, and then eventually we put a group together and we started going to different you know shows and stuff, competitions and stuff like that, and winning and stuff like that. And then that's what the name started getting out there. And then I started was able to go in the clubs, long as I wasn't drinking. I, well, back in them days, we did every damn thing, so it didn't really matter. And then I was on a bigger stage, and that's how I started getting the reputation of being a DJ. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Back then, when it all began for you at the beginning, because there's always that highlight or that moment that stands out to you. What was one of your biggest highlights back then that really, really said, yeah, this is it? I know for sure I
Me
want to DJ.
was
Mm-hmm.
doing Heavy D and gotten a chance to hang out with Salt and Pepper. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What I mean by hanging out, we actually hung out with them. And meeting Heavy D was actually meeting Heavy D, not, hey, that's Heavy D right there. No, meeting him personally, talking to him, being backstage, and all the other acts like Biz Markie and EU and Big Daddy Kane and all them cats. These were people that I used to listen to on the radio. So, we talked. I had a
Mm-hmm.
closure. I didn't want to act like a groupie and everything. But I'm like, damn. So, yeah.
Like, do you know who you are?
I remember,
You know what?
I remember my mom. I remember me coming home telling my mom, well, back in the day, I was hot in the ass. I told my mom, I said, Mom, I met Salt and Pepper. She was like, well, which one of them did you sleep with?
We all went through our own little teenage phase, hiding the butt and just
Oh, yeah.
can't tell us nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
So
when did you start in radio? Like in radio, that lane?
I started radio 10 years ago. I've been with my same show, the Hilltop Radio Show, for 10 years. And I do want to say this: a lot of people with their own radio station, a lot of them aren't around that long to stay with one program. A lot of people jump around, but I can remember the day I started, and I started out with 5 listeners. Today, I'm over 140,000,
Woo.
200 over 290 countries and territories, and I'm and I'm running 3.5, 3.7 million listeners worldwide. Yeah. Oh yes.
So let me ask you this for our DJs that are watching or maybe interested in running a radio station or anything like that. What's one of the keys to building your following? You know, what can we all do to build our following and get people to start tuning in, things like that?
Content and networking. Networking. And networking with the right people.
Right.
That has a following, not just someone just because they're good. You got to have people that have followings. And what I mean by followings, I mean a solid following of individuals that are going to be like, damn, DJ Saun did his thing last night. Man, I need to tell this.
Oh yeah.
It's like a train. If you buy a ticket, you want to get on the train and keep going to your destination. You don't want to keep stopping. I learned
Somebody that gas you up and talk up on you and just
that's right. That's
yeah, give that extra sauce and energy and boom, boom, hey,
right.
last night was this and woo, you gotta get him. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And once you build that up and your confidence on shit, I can do this. And then I got to the point where hell, let me take it to another notch. Let me start getting old school artists on. But now, not only I'm playing the young generation music, now I'm playing the old school artists. Now I got the old school cats, the baby boomers, Generation X, listening to the show now because I'll have a artist on from, the Delphonics or, the Ohio players, Lakeside, cats like that. Bring them on.
Right.
Now got that old school following. I wonder who DJ Saun is going to have on his show next. So I used my brain and just started doing a lot of research on different things. That's how I became very, very successful. And Hilltop Radio Show is a household name, not only local but internationally. Yes.
What city is your radio station in?
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay. And how many days a week are you on the air?
Right now, I'm back on 1 day a week. I'm getting ready to pick it up 2 days a week come next month. Yeah, right now 1 day a week because of my health. Yeah.
Right. You recently had me on your show as well as a special guest,
Yeah.
along with Andy and along with some other guests, and it was just amazing. And we were talking about the Faces of Rap Mothers, which is I call it the mothers of the industry, the mothers of hip hop.
Yeah.
And you gave us a feature, and you had me on there, and I just want to thank you for that, for giving us that exposure, because I may be known on the West Coast, LA, or cities like, Las Vegas, but don't nobody know me in Indiana or all these other, cities. So I'm trying to spread it a little bit and trying to get it out there and, build and things like that. So it's a blessing when you have someone with a platform like yours that can, put my brand and likeness out in a whole nother side of the world, and have others hear my voice and get to know me and things like that. And just because I'm a celebrity's sibling does not sell records for me, or if you know what I mean. I don't do music, but it doesn't do it. Like I still have to get out there, and I have to tap in and, talk to people and this and that. So it's just not easy. And you have to really work in this business to get what you need. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And like on the show, the first thing I said was I commended you because you didn't allow your celebrity civil to get you out there. You wanted to work it yourself and take your pace, and and that's, my hat goes off to you, and that's very respectful.
I appreciate that.
We're doing it because a lot of them will use, that brother or that cousin or that sister to get to the top instead of working your way to the bottom and work to the top. So
Right.
my hat
He
goes off to you.
it
And
was so sweet of him. He at my event this weekend in Las Vegas, he actually got on a live chat of Percy, who is Snoop Dogg's manager. He got on his cell phone, a live video chat, and he congratulated me in front of everybody. It was just I fell out crying. Of course, I'm such a big baby, and I want to congratulate him too on the Masked Singer. He's one of the best. Everybody's been talking about that. So they revealed his character or something, and it's been all over. So, my brother's doing his thing. I'm proud of him. He's proud of me. It seems like he gave me some acknowledgement, and that was just a blessing. But we don't sell each other's records. You know what I mean?
right.
So we still gotta sit on our own bottom and get in our own lanes and get out there. How important is it for you to, work at this, not expect that a name or credibility or something like that is going to sell you?
It's very important because now that I'm 10 years in, I work hard at what I do, and people want to see what's the next broadcast going to be, who you bringing on, what independent artists you're bringing on, or what are you going to talk about. With me being not only into music and everything, I'm also a retired football referee. So now I have the sports ties as well too. So, like Monday night, we're going to be talking about the NFL draft, and I'm going to be bringing ex NFL players on. We're going to be talking about that as well too. So it's very important to me because people want to see what am I doing, or who am I having on, or what's on, what's in the next plan, because a lot of people are watching
Right.
and people are hating, but you know what I mean, I can't help who you are, just like you have a lot of haters that hate who you are, but you got to do what you got to do for your fans and for yourself.
Right, exactly. Yep. Still got to go live, still got to stay in front of that audience, still got to talk to them, still got to encourage them, still got to keep pushing. They're used to now a specific thing, and everybody's creatures of habit,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sports, I want to talk about that aspect. You're a sports agent, an actual agent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How do you do it?
Well, it goes back to my childhood, playing football, baseball, basketball, soccer, every damn thing I could play. My grandparents stuck me in there just to keep us active, And when I got to high school, I played 3 sports, and was able to go off to college and play, and was able to take, be invited to a conference to, referee football, and then going to different camps, going to different states and countries, and teaching the sport, which at that time was basketball and football, and just meeting different people and helping them, different kids, and helping them get into colleges or different leagues and stuff like that. So that's another passion of mine that I love doing, and I've been doing that for over 20 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I just think you're an amazing human being. I just do. Because that's a lot of hats to wear. And somewhere in there, you do have to have passion. You got to want to do it. You got to have that desire to, and that drive on the inside that makes you get up every single day and push forward, in those lanes. You know what I mean? And then there are 2 extreme different lanes too.
Oh yeah.
You got
the entertainment lane, I got the sports lane, and then I got the business lane. So I had to learn the business because I'm doing music, entertainment, production work, and then I'm doing sports work. So I had to learn the business. And
Right.
I have so many mentors that I love because I can call them and ask them a question. And if they don't know the answer, they'll connect me with someone else. And see, I don't mind like, calling somebody like you. I got a
Mhm.
question for you. Can you help me out? You know what I'm saying? It's not always about me knowing everything because I don't know everything. You
Right.
if you have a question and you have a solid foundation, and what I mean by foundation is a solid group of people that appreciate you
Hmm.
and see your vision, you can call on them and get that answer that you're looking for or advice. See, I don't have my father no more, my grandfather anymore, so I couldn't get that advice from them. So it took me a long time to open up to somebody else and ask them.
Let
And
me
now,
ask you this. This is a struggle for me even.
mhm.
How do you juggle family and what you do for a
Well,
living?
I always tell artists, and I use that for myself. Family's first, no matter what. Radio, music, sports is always going to be there. All that other stuff is always going to be there, but your family, something can happen tomorrow and they're not here or next week. But there's always sports on TV. It's always radio on, music on the radio. Um, and I'll just learn how to take time out for myself to stop running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So now I've learned how to take a break, take time
Right.
out. Because I know, like your phone rings day up from sun up to sundown. I had to learn how to let the damn ring go to voicemail or text. If it's 911, then you text is 911. Then I give you
Mm.
my attention. But when I'm with my grandkids or just want to relax, I don't answer the phone unless it's very, very necessary or important. Then I answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that the pandemic taught me so much because I have been running for years and hitting it and in the hustle and bustle, but pandemic forced the hand of a lot of us sitting down and taking that break and making time to spend quality time with family. Like last night, we watched a comedy and we sat here and oh man, that was the best time, with the fam.
Yeah. Have
And
family
then
time.
we fell asleep in the bed together, like all the kids and hubby and I. It was just like, wow, this is beautiful. And they missed us because we were away for the weekend. So it's like I'm learning that cherished moments like that are
Oh yeah.
major important. I went to California to see my pregnant daughters and to spend time with them and see my grandbabies and just look at them and have conversations and just have that exchange. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. Like you're very, date night, leave the phone off, and stuff like vacation time. Vacation time means taking time out with you or whoever you're with.
Right.
Business can get back once you get back. And that's where I learned how to do that. A lot of people that are mad, but I don't give a damn. Stay mad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true
Yeah.
because you can't burn yourself out too much.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about this. This is the second stroke
Oh yeah.
you had recently. Um, Talk to us about that, your health, and in regards to the entertainment industry stresses and. Ooh, my husband had a stroke before, and I was there to witness it, and it's really really scary.
My first one was in 2017. I was out in San Antonio, Texas. during the game. And I felt good, real good. Game was over with. We went back to the cottage, and referees, one of my referee partners, was like, "Are you all right? You doing?" I was like, "Man, stop asking me. I'm okay. I'm okay." Next thing I know, I go in the kitchen and come out, and I collapse. I had no feeling on my left side or nothing. Rushed me to the hospital, and they had this drug, a reversing drug for strokes. Took it. Next day, I was back to like nothing never happened. Felt good. So then I, started taking my blood pressure medicine. And then you quote on, like that. Then you start hearing people, oh, I take this, I take that, and I feel good. But people got to understand their body is different from somebody else's. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
I started taking natural herbs and stopped taking my blood pressure medicine. So from 2017 until March of 2021 of this year, I go to work, good day again, finish work, get off work, get in the car, halfway home, I feel tingling. I was like, shit, I'm getting ready to have a stroke. So I'm able to drive home. Another 15 minutes, I'm able to drive home, back up, parking it in the yard. I called my brother. I said, bro, I need you to come over here. I'm having a stroke. My brother lives behind me, so he rushes over. I'm slumped over. So call the ambulance, and they rush me to the hospital. Get to the hospital, thinking, okay, they're going to give me this drug again, and I'm going to be good, the next day. Now, this one was 100 times worse than the one I had in 2017 because it left me paralyzed. And I had a blood clot in my brain. And I had a blood clot in the brain coming from high blood pressure and cholesterol. Not watching what I'm eating a whole lot of fried foods, and not taking my medicine like I was supposed to have been taking back in 2017. I stopped taking it because listening to other people. And the first week or so being in the hospital, I got depressed because I came through the first one. So now I got to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to talk again, and I'm still having issues learning how to, get my arm, my hand working and stuff. But I learned that, this is something I have to do in order for me to get back 100%, is to work hard. I had an awesome, awesome doctor, and my therapist, she's bad. I mean, when I mean bad, she's bad. She's me. She texts me, she calls me to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And when she sees me twice a week. And when she comes, she's like, wow, you really working hard because now I'm able to get my arm up.
Yeah, after that. And what day did this happen? Because it wasn't that long ago.
This stroke here happened March the 2nd.
Right.
I came home April the 2nd. And May the 2nd made it 60 days. I'm 45 days right now ahead of my schedule.
Wow. And this is only May 6th today.
Right.
That's not that long ago. So you are doing a phenomenal job at pushing through and telling yourself you can, because a lot of it you got to tell yourself you can. Mental. You got to talk to, it's mental. It's a mental thing. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I was talking about this on this morning's podcast. In what ways would you recommend that people in a health crisis like this work through their depression? Because I was talking about this morning. I had a seizure yesterday in my bed. Um, and it's just, I worked myself too up and got angry and, found myself frustrated about something. And I basically, it ran my blood pressure up. It escalated my blood pressure up to 100. It was high, very, very high. My husband took it and it was ridiculous. So
you have to find your biggest support system right now is your husband and kids. And you have to have a bigger support system beyond that. My support system is my mother. My grandmother calls me and checks on me every day, every day. And it's unfortunately that I still have my grandmother around,
That's a blessing.
Yes, it is. And my therapist is another big support system. And then just having people in your circle that's going to call you and say, how you doing? Is there anything you need? Or not calling you and say, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? It's, Shanta, how you doing this morning? Is there anything I can do for you? Anything you need? It's just having a solid support system that keeps you motivated. My grandkids keep me motivated. This business keeps me motivated. And I keep myself motivated because when I'm going through my therapy, I go over and beyond. So, my therapist is like, what do you want to work on? You tell me. You know what I mean? I want to work on everything. Yeah, it's like then I'll go outside and start walking up and down the steps and stuff, showing off because I know I can do it. And
you can do it.
I can do it.
Well, let me ask you this, DJ Saun, where do you go from here?
I'll go from here is start going out and telling my story and helping other people through, that's gone through a stroke. Because my therapist, she brought a young lady that went through a stroke and really took her out. And bringing her to me and meeting her, that's more motivation because looking at her in a little bit of time, she got healed. Like I said, everybody's different. But if you have the mindset and you believe in the power of God and have that faith, I'm right now I'm able to move my shoulder, move my hand, I'm able to unscrew stuff. I'm able to do a lot now than I couldn't do a month, 60 days
ago. Yeah. And it's only, like I said, 2 months in is not long at all. That's not even, that's around the corner, if you know what I mean. It's not that long that you've had to even get to the level that you're at now. And you've done an amazing job along with your team of recovering so far. My husband had a stroke too, and it wasn't easy. It was a mild stroke. And then one time he had about a Bell's palsy that hit his face. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but that's a whole nother thing, and it's like, that's why I wanted to connect with you because, my husband has had a stroke before. I've seen it right before my face. I know that is not something simple.
No.
The recovery is not simple, and being able to get on your feet and he's now up completely working. He installs appliances.
Right.
God is good. God is real good.
I just recommend to people that are listening, get your physicals every year. Don't be afraid to go to the hospital or go to your doctors to get a checkup. Watch what you eat. If you have medicine, take your medicine. Don't listen to someone else's issues that they stop taking this, they stop taking that. Don't listen to that. Do what you're capable of doing. Now, I was taking 8 different medications. Now I'm down to 4 because of I listened to my doctor.
Okay.
You stop taking that because you don't need that no more. Blood work comes back. My blood work is, 100% now. They would call me and say, "Oh, your blood work came back. It was good, but we need to put you on some B12." Okay, so now I take B12 every day.
Great.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
people out there listening, do what your doctor tells you to do. Just because you feel good today, you might not feel good tomorrow. So if the doctor
Mhm.
says you don't need to take no more blood pressure medicine, listen to what your doctor says. Don't listen to what Dave down the street or Michelle at the natural herb shop tells you and this and that. Yeah.
They recently told me too. I had too much B in my system, like too much B12. It was
Right.
too hot. It was so I had to taper off. It's I got some lab work done recently. I was like, wow. But the liver, I'm blessed. The liver, the heart, the kidneys, all of that is like a 30-some-year-old's.
Wow.
They said, and that's I'm about to cross 50 soon. I'm about to be 48.
Wow.
So I'm entering into that level where you have to you gotta get your health checked and
Yeah.
check things out because you don't know what's going on in there. And
Hmm.
my cholesterol was high,
Yep.
blood pressure was elevated.
Yeah, I'm on two blood pressure medications. Two.
Wow.
They had to experiment with me with over 6 different medications in order to find the right two to bring my blood pressure down. My blood pressure was running like 100 something over 100 something. That's how my blood pressure was running. So now it's like 122 over 70, 125 over 73. I never seen those numbers a day in my life. A damn.
Right.
But again, everybody out there listening, take your medication, listen to what your doctor's saying, don't listen to what anybody what everybody else says because you can go, girl, you can go buy this, you can go buy that, and you'll feel good. Nah, everybody's body's different. Yeah.
Right. Wanted to talk to you. This is switch of subjects again. Are there any new campaigns being launched through the radio station or anything that you're working on um,
We're working
in the
on
music?
we're working on a uh we're working on a telethon to raise money for um individuals that don't have insurance to get them, physical therapy, a doctor's visits. Just some people can't afford it. Some people don't know how to go about getting free insurance, through the state or through the county. We're working on stuff like that, and that's also going to be the month where we're going to be also bringing Faces of Rat Mothers to Charlotte area, and that's going to be in November. In
That's
November,
awesome.
we
That's
have
awesome.
amazing people that have partnered up with me, myself and my therapist company. We got a lot of sponsors, key sponsors that with equipment. One of the sponsors that
Wow,
I use their equipment. Yeah, I use their
that's
equipment.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
Yeah, I know all too well about this insurance. I'm dealing with that same thing. Like
yeah,
people stay away from the ER because when you go, it's like a $5,000 bill from one visit, and it's just who wants to keep running up bills if you're working on your credit and things like it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough. And then they're not just giving you insurance out here. You gotta
yeah,
you gotta have real ailment in order to even qualify,
yeah.
for
I
insurance.
went through a lot of red tape just to get Medicaid, and I'm not going to admit I got it. I got
Right.
Medicaid, Medicare, and hey, I use it. You know,
Oh yeah.
doctor's visits. I don't have to pay for a doctor's visit. My rehab is taken care of. My medicine is paid for. you know, so it's a good thing, you know, and then I get temporary disability because I'm out of work, you know,
Right,
until
right,
I
right.
get to work. So I'm using every advantage that I can to take care of myself, and I'm going to do it. Everybody, and that's another show. You know, like a lot of people, everybody has medical bills. It doesn't really hurt you toward your credit, but that's another story. Yeah, yeah. But
Okay, you got to tell. You might have to talk to me about that
yeah,
off camera so we can, catch up. Because I'm like, okay,
yeah,
woo.
yeah.
I'm not liking that part. Because when you grown, and you're working toward finally getting better credit and working toward, just advancing your life and trying to get to the point where eventually you want to buy a home and things like that. It's just
Oh
you
yeah,
you start to think about things more and you don't just make sudden moves and things like that, and you're staying on top of things and you're maneuvering in a different type of way, not being irresponsible. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
it's tough, and no
yeah,
one tells you that these medical systems are not going to fund you. You know what I mean? You got to have some kind of insurance, and even with insurance, you know what I'm saying, they are also charging bills and fees and things like that, and you still gotta compensate some with the insurance. So it's crazy out here, this whole medical world.
yeah. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you know, you got to know the system in order to,
Right.
compete with the system or be with the system or go against the system. So yeah, yeah.
That's true. Where can we give us your information on how we can find you on social media?
Sean Fisher, ShaunFisher, and it'll say DJ Sean. Um, I'm on blogtalkradio.com, the Hilltop Radio Show on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, pretty much, or you can go to the hilltopradioshow.org and you can go on there. And if you're sitting home and you want to listen to some music, you can go to DJ Sean Live 24/7 and hear nothing but old school funk, soul, R&B music 24/7. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what direct message would you like to give to your fans?
Uh, Find you a solid group that believes in your vision. Put people in your circle that are going to be in your circle for a reason, not a season. Um, do what you have to do in order to get your brand, and your face out there. And that, it goes back to networking with the right people. That's all you got to do. So you
Right,
got,
get your face out there.
yeah,
So
don't,
DJ Saun,
yeah, don't step
uh,
on nobody's toes. Don't use nobody to try to backdoor someone. If you get plugged, don't disrespect the plug that plugged you up. Things like that. Be loyal. That's the main thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Loyalty is definitely top on the list when it comes to the business, because you know word is bond, and also you have to cherish your friendships and things like that, and build a trust, with others in order to keep the vision going and keep it alive. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because you do a lot of exchanging, you put a lot in others' hands at times,
Oh yeah,
and you want to be able to trust that, hey, if I send this artist over here to get a complete package done, that it's going to be done.
yeah, yeah,
You want to make sure that, if such that thing, that service is going to be taken care of. That's big in this business, and trust and all of that is behind that. Loyalty is behind that. And it gets tested all the time. It gets tested all the time. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, oh yeah. I know that for a fact. How, like my circle is so small. If it was a ring, I couldn't even put it on my finger. That's how small my circle is. And I only connect people with the right people. If I know
Right.
that, hey, that this person can do good by you, I'll connect you with that person because I trust that person. I had to learn that the hard way, connecting people with people, thinking that you're trusting these people and meeting other people. A lot of people would come on my show just to try to get a boost. I found that out. So I had, tell a lot of people, yo, don't come on my show anymore. I don't give a damn. If you get mad, you can delete me. I don't even care if you talk about me. I still got a million some listeners.
Right.
Uh, I just tired of people using other people. I hate that. And then and then, not knowing the loyalty that you have, and then the person that you trying to backdoor, that person picks the phone up and calls you, yo, such and such just called me trying to do this and trying to do that behind your back. Come
Right.
on. Be real. Be real about who you are. If you're in the business and you're just looking for an opportunity to get to the top, say that. You know what I mean? Um, I hate people that use other people because I don't use people. If I have an issue with you, I'm going to tell you. I'm a
Yeah,
grown
straight up. Hmm.
ass man. I'm going to pick the phone up and tell you. But you got a lot of them that walk around here that try to portray an image. But if they got a problem with me, they'll tell three other people, but scared to pick the phone up and say something to me. But they're supposed to be the hardest person in the world. You know. That's
My biggest pet peeve, and I'm gonna bring this up too, is when people lie on me and say I said something when I didn't.
oh,
That right there, that 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 I hate with a passion because I'm one of the most upfront and honest people around. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be good to people too and put out my everyday good from my soul.
right.
So when someone lies to try to make themselves look better, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, or to cover up their dirt of what they did,
Hmm.
that eats under my skin. That's one of my pet peeves. Like I don't like that. I don't like that because the thing is, you know, uh, a pair of glasses is a pair of glasses.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing you saying, you know what I mean, gonna make it change or make it any different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I know I'm getting amped up again, but I'm just like, oh, it happened to me recently. I just don't like. I don't like that. I don't like when people try to make themselves, seem like they tooting their own horn by lying on you to lose credibility. Of people in that circle. They
Right.
trying to put you down to make themselves look like they the ish. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time in the industry.
It's like
Uh,
it's like people wake up and say, "Who am I going to fuck with today?" You know what I mean? Who am I going to stress out today, or who am I going to bother, or how can I get how can I get here? How can I do that? How can I do this? Well, let me a lot of people sit with their phone in their hand and stroll in their phone contact and see who can I use to get ahead. Let me call somebody. Who can I use to get ahead? And that's what they do. That's what
they
they
do, yeah.
yeah. That's what they do. Real talk.
And it's crazy, especially someone in a position that has a famous celebrity brother. It happens all the time. And then they realize,
I know it happens to
dang,
you all the time.
oh yeah, every day. Every day, all day.
Yeah.
Uh so and I like you said, my circle is becoming a lot smaller because of it, because it's just like, dang, why do I have to put up with all this, and it's just sad. And it's what we deal with as entertainers. It's a part of the cycle of what happens. If you're a real entertainer, real, if you're a real industry person, you're going to deal with things like that. You're going to deal with backlash and somebody lying and somebody trying to backstab you and backdoor you. get on your schedule so that they can get ahead. You're going to deal with all of that type of stuff. I deal with it all the time, and I'm like, man. So I have to maneuver differently now.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell everybody out there a prime example. Why you think they created Unsung? They created Unsung to let the industry know that it's not always strawberries and cherries at the top. You go
Right.
through you go through a period in your life where you have management that fucks you, you have friends that fuck you got team members that fuck you, and that's just telling you a story. Watch out, because you still got snakes that slither, but now you got hawks that fly high in the sky and looking down to see what you're doing. Yeah,
And
rats.
all them. Let's not forget about all the crabs in the bucket.
Yeah, yeah.
They there too. All the crabs in the bucket.
Oh, oh
you
yeah.
know. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But you gotta really love this business and game. You gotta really love this industry and have a passion for it because I'm telling you, we deal with a lot and it's not fun on that end. And you gotta keep it pushing. You gotta keep smiling. You gotta keep going. You gotta understand that the higher power upstairs is what is doing this, is the one that gives you everything you got to go forward in the first place. And we constantly got to acknowledge that too, and understand what our real purpose is. You know what I
That's,
mean? And what our real reason for being is.
that's
Why we
right.
step out every day, why we get up and get on those microphones and talk. Why do we do this and that? It's honey, it's God. It's God. It's God. God definitely. I know I hear that inner voice and that inner spirit that tells me go this way, go that way. And I believe that that's the Almighty God. I'm not hearing some fake phony stuff. Like I know the difference. you
When
know,
when I came home from the hospital January the 2nd, I said I'm going back on the radio the 5th. So I went back on the radio that Monday. I had a friend, well, a so-called friend, say, "I'm mad." Well, what you mad about? Because you come back on the radio. First of all, the radio is my pride and joy. That's my comfort zone. You don't tell nobody that's gone through something major. That's just like
wow.
that's just like you going through your seizure and say, Shanta, you shouldn't go back on your podcast anymore. You shouldn't do your shows anymore. What gives me the right to tell you that that's your comfort zone? That's what you enjoy.
Right.
You don't tell somebody not to sell candy because you got a candy store. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell nobody don't sell no hamburgers because you got a hamburger store. You're supposed to back that person up and appreciate what that person's doing because
Right.
that's a that's a rehab as well too. That's helping me
Right.
with my voice. It's helping me get back to where I needed to be at. So yeah, that was. Then you get a whole lot of people texting you and saying, "Why would the fuck he would say that to you on radio?" You know what I'm saying? Because that's a hater. That's someone that don't understand. Claim that they understand what you've been through, but don't really know what you've been through. Yeah.
Right. And I shared a live this morning that was so on point. Uh People don't have feelings anymore. They don't care. They're numbing emotion and they're numbing everything through all different types of things. They're numbing it. They're numbing their pain and burying it. And it's like, people, they don't really have emotion anymore. It's so whatever. Okay, I can push because whatever. They don't mean nothing to me. That's the attitude.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't get like that with everybody, because everybody ain't like that. Like I can't. Somebody told me like I had to stop feeling. I don't think so. Like I'm emotional with mine. I go hard, and I care about people. It's nothing I can do. I can't help that part. That's how God made me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like me, when I if I rock with you, I rock with you. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. That's just how I
Right.
am. If I feel though I connect you with somebody and I feel though that was a bad connection, I'm man enough to pick the phone up and say, "Yo, Shanta,
Yeah.
don't fuck with that person no more. That's my fault. I connected you. You know what I'm saying, with that person, he or she." But yeah, it's a it's a
It's
crazy industry. I love it because I love laughing at crazy ass people. Yeah.
right. Right. So DJ Saun, you have been powerful and amazing today. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story with us and my audience. You are a walking miracle. Ever
Yeah.
since I saw that you had this stroke, I knew I wanted you on the show. I just didn't know when. And I want to thank again Brandy of Big Red Entertainment for setting us up and connecting the dots for
Yeah.
us to get you on the show.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's just been, you are so awesome. I wanted people to really hear your words,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and who you are, because we don't get a chance to. We work so much. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And DJs interview everybody else.
Yeah.
Other thing.
Yeah.
So I thought it was important that you get a moment and you get to take a break and tell your perspective of things and really give your side of the story. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? On how it all started and what you've been through and some of the things that you've experienced in this industry. So give us your website again and your information for the radio station before we
It's
close everything down.
blog is the Hilltop Radio Show, and you can catch me at blogtalkradio.com/ the Hilltop Radio Show. Website is the hilltopradioshow.org. And if you want to hit me up, you can hit me up on Facebook. It's Sean, Shaun Fisher, DJ Sean. If
DJ,
you want to email me some music and have me listen to it, it's djsean.hilltop@gmail. That's right.
okay.
I'm there.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, DJ Saun, you have been amazing, and it's been such a pleasure having you on the Queen G Live experience today.
I
God
feel
bless you.
I feel like a big time celebrity now to be on your show.
As you should. As you should. I want to get my little advertisement too and put my little spill out there. Y'all get your sunshades. We've been, selling some of these, and they are really, really nice. We actually got a lot of sales in Vegas. People loved them. You know, it's about to be hot out there, so everybody was on them. I was like, yes, get your sunshades.
Something for some men. Got sales up for some men now.
Oh yeah, we got some. We got some men ones. And we're looking for a man distributor too, so
Okay.
that we can have that, because a lot of men are requesting shades as well, and some of them have gotten the designer ones, but they really, really like a specific type. So we're
Yeah,
looking for those.
we'll talk. Maybe you can get some out here in the Carolinas. I can get rid of them. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well,
Okay.
DJ Saun, I'm gonna jump off of here, and
Hey,
thank you so much.
well, thank you.
You are amazing. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to
Appreciate
bless
you.
us
Yes, ma'am.
with this exclusive interview. And I will see you next time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Peace.
Peace.
So that was DJ Saun, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's podcast. He was amazing. I loved hearing his journey and talking with him, and he's just a walking miracle. And y'all keep him in your prayers as he continues to recover from his stroke. And I will see you guys next time, okay? Peace.